Negative $50,000. That was our net worth when my wife and I got together in 2010. Negative $50,000. We owed more than we owned. This number was actually quite surprising to us when we calculated it for the first time because we actually thought we were rich. Combined, we were making around $130K per year. When we wanted to buy things, we did. If our friends invited us out to dinner, we went. Outside of our wedding, we didn't think about money all that often. But the truth of our financial situation was that we weren't rich. We were in student debt, we were in car debt, and we owed more on our house than it was worth. Our retirement investments were less than $20,000 combined, and we had about $2,000 in the bank. At first, this financial realization was kind of a bummer. But shortly after, we got excited about improving our situation together. After all, we were going to be parents in the next couple of years, and we wanted our children to have the best lives possible. So we decided to make a plan and change our negative net worth situation into a positive one. Over the next 10 years, my wife and I partnered together to increase our net worth to over $1 million. Here's how we did it. Oh, before I jump in, please consider giving me the YouTube triple thanks. That's hitting the like button, the subscribe button, and commenting down below. Thank you so much for considering it. All right, let's go through those 5 steps that we took to increase our net worth to over $1 million in just 10 years. Number 1, write down the numbers and track them. One of the first things we did to improve our situation was to physically write down our income and our expenses and put them into a budget. This practice allowed us to see how much we had coming in and how much we had going out. With this information, we started to become in control of our money instead of our money being in control of us. We started to track our net worth as well. When we started, I used a simple spreadsheet and tracked our progress over time. As things progressed, I started to use free tools like Mint and Personal Capital to make tracking our net worth a little bit more automatic. I'll put those links in the description below. Anyway, it's amazing how much progress we were able to make as a couple by seeing our numbers laid out in front of us. It's the difference between using Google Maps on a road trip and just winging it. The more information you have, the better off your financial journey will be, and you won't get lost along the way. Number 2, set goals as a couple. Laying out our numbers was important, but without a goal, the information was kind of pointless. My wife and I decided to set some goals that were important to both of us. I was more excited about the financial goals like becoming debt-free or increasing our net worth to positive territory. She was less motivated by these numbers-focused goals and more motivated by emotional goals. For example, she wasn't loving her job at the time, and she was excited about finding a way where she could work less and eventually become a stay-at-home mom to our children. After a lot of conversation, we decided that would be our collective goal. We would improve our financial situation to the point where my wife could eventually raise our children at home and leave her 9-to-5. Now, that goal may not be for everyone. A lot of people love their careers. Here are some other goals to consider as you're finding your why for improving your money situation. Eliminating debt to reduce stress. Funding a small business venture. Going on stress-free, debt-free vacations. Being able to help out family members financially. Saving for an adoption. Buying a home. And giving back and donating more to charities or causes you care about. Everyone's situation is different. Taking the time to find your financial motivation can be a great way to bond with your spouse and work on a common goal together. It definitely was for us. Number 3, execute the plan. After we set our goal to transition my wife from full-time employee to full-time stay-at-home mom, it was time to get to work. We knew it wouldn't happen overnight, but by breaking it down into steps, it became a lot easier. First, we eliminated the debt. If we had to eventually live on one income, we needed to be able to practice it beforehand. A great starting point for us was eliminating my student debt, around $30K, and my wife's car debt, which was around $20K. Since we were making a little over 6 figures, we decided to just live on one of our incomes and use the rest to pay off our debt. This required some sacrifices on our part, and that's where the second part comes in: reduce expenses. For a period of time, we had to start saying no. a bit more than we were used to. It was difficult to say no to family who wanted us to join them on vacations or friends that wanted us to go out each weekend. Ultimately, we knew the short-term sacrifice was worth it. To help with this problem, we also increased our income. During this debt paydown period, we found ways to increase our income as well. Outside of selling things around the house that we didn't use anymore on Craigslist, actually Facebook Marketplace is much better for this nowadays, I worked hard to increase my income at work as well. Because I worked in sales, increasing my commissions became my go-to plan. I was motivated, man. One year, I even broke the company's sales record, and it paid off. Lastly, we wouldn't forget to celebrate together, because eventually, our plan worked. We paid off $50,000 of student debt and car debt in about 12 months' time. We were so excited that we went for a beautiful drive in my wife's paid-for car to celebrate with the windows down. About 5 months later, our daughter was born. Nicole started working part-time at her job, and eventually she was able to stay at home full-time when our son was born in 2014. After our couple's financial victory, we were hungry for more. This wealth-building stuff had become a passion. Number 4, build wealth. After experiencing that win, we worked together to build wealth even more. Giving our 2 kids an incredible life was at the top of our family to-do list. Here are just some of the ways we boosted our net worth and built our wealth. Maxed out our retirement options. In 2013, I started a new career, and my workplace benefits offered a 15% match on my 401k contributions. From the moment I started to the moment I left, I maxed the contributions on this wealth-building investment option. By the time I left in 2020, my balance was around $200,000. Outside of the 401k, we also invested in IRAs and a health savings account as well, an HSA. These 2 tax-advantaged retirement options helped us to grow our wealth as well. Pay off the mortgage. For the longest time, I hated having a mortgage. It always felt like a gigantic pain in the neck, and I just didn't want it in my life anymore. My wife and I partnered together the same way we did for our original $50,000 of debt, but this time we did it with our $200,000 mortgage. Within the next 4 years, we were mortgage-free. No payments ever again for this family.
We're mortgage-free!
Buying rental properties. After we became mortgage-free, we started to dream bigger. I loved the idea of creating passive income through real estate. My wife loved the idea of transforming homes and making them beautiful places for people to live. We partnered together to save as much money as possible to make this dream become a reality. After saving for a couple years and viewing potential investment properties and learning more about what it takes to become a rental property owner, we decided to abandon this idea. With 2 kids at home and a busy schedule, we decided that less might actually be more for the next chapter of our lives. Number 5, continue dreaming together. As we approach the $1 million net worth mark in the 10th year of our marriage, we continued to dream together. By this time, my wife was ready to rejoin the workforce after years dedicated to her role as stay-at-home mom. The idea of checking email and sipping coffee at her desk without kids yanking at her pant leg sounded like heaven to her. Our next idea was to figure out a way for both of us to work part-time doing work we love. And that's where we stand today. We're both on a mission to kind of figure this out. We've saved plenty for retirement already, a mortgage-free home. The next part of our lives together, we want to dedicate to creating a schedule we love and one that we look forward to. We're excited about figuring this out together. Seeing the progress we've made from a negative $50,000 net worth in 2010 to over $1 million in 2020, we're confident we'll be able to as a couple. But enough about us. I'd love to hear from you. What are you doing to increase your net worth? How would life be different for you if you had no mortgage, you didn't need to worry about investing for retirement anymore, and you had a year's worth of expenses in the bank? What would that be like for you? Please let me know in the comments below. This is Andy Hill for Marriage, Kids, and Money, signing off. Carpe diem.